Hi guys, today we will continue with our NCRT series of Geography class 8. So we are towards the end of the NCRT. We have already covered couple of chapters from the NCRT Geography book. So the next chapter which we will be covering is agriculture. Okay. So look, uh, I have highlighted couple of things which are necessary from exam perspective, and I will take first the revision and then we'll move ahead to the next chapter. Okay. So look, agriculture, this word basically originates from the Latin word which means agri means the soil and culture means cultivation. Okay. So look at the screen. You can see in the box that is word origin. You can see the word agriculture. So we will be studying about this soil and cultivation. Yes. So in the world, 50% of the persons are engaged in agriculture activity. How many? 50% of the world's population is engaged in agriculture. Also, two-thirds of India's population is engaged in the agriculture activity. We are still the employment generation of India has been dependent a lot on agriculture. So these two lines are very important from that perspective. Then this, I think I have already discussed that NDA had a couple of times asked questions on the cultures, sericulture, pisciculture, viticulture, and the horticulture. So agriculture, as you know, but all other cultures like seri means the commercial rearing of silkworms. Okay, so sericulture is the silk culture. Pisciculture is related to the breeding of fish, right? Pisciculture is related to breeding of fish in specially constructed tanks and ponds. You know, this basically comes in the agricultural and allied services or allied activities. So this is in the allied activities. Okay. Viticulture, it is the cultivation of grapes. You can see in your on your screen the cultivation of grapes. It's called as the viticulture. What is horticulture? Growing of vegetables, flowers, fruits, etc. is the horticulture. So we have, this was the NDA 2023 question. Okay, this was NDA's question. Remember that. Now, types of agriculture is important. Here, basically, we have 2 to 3 types of agricultures, basically 2 basic types of agriculture, and then further division of it. So we'll be discussing about subsistence agriculture and commercial agriculture. This is the 2 basic types. One is subsistence agriculture, another is commercial agriculture or commercial farming. Subsistence farming and commercial farming. In the subsistence farming, this type of farming is practiced to meet the needs, of the farmer's family. The basic purpose of doing this type of agriculture is what? To fulfill the needs of the family. Yes. Traditionally, the low levels of technology, what is the characteristics? uh, NDA has previously asked, this was also NDA's question. Okay, NDA 2021. In 2021-22, they had asked uh, what are the characteristics of subsistence farming in India. So one characteristic is that it is low level of technology. Second is labor. Household labor is labor are used to produce on small output. Third is small output. These are 3 characteristics. Okay. Subsistence farming can be further classified as an intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence. So then intensive is what? The farmer cultivates small. Okay. For example, this is land in the small area. He cultivates using simple tools and more labor. Climate with large number of days with sunshine and fertile soil permit more than one crop. So more than one crop is taken. Okay. So another characteristic is was more than one crop. So this can be the next question. So in intensive subsistence farming or intensive subsistence agriculture, you grow more than one crop on the same area. Okay. Rice is the main crop, right? And it is prevalent in thickly populated areas of monsoon region. Okay. Thickly populated areas of the monsoon areas. Is it clear? Now, in the primitive, we will study about zoom cultivation. Okay. Shifting cultivation is practiced in thickly forested areas of Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Asia, etc. These are areas of heavy rainfall and quick generation of vegetation. So this is important. In shifting cultivation, heavy rainfall is there and quick regeneration of vegetation. So plot of land is cleared by felling the trees and burning them. The ashes then mixed with the soil and crops like maize, yam, potatoes, cassava, etc. After the soil loses its fertility, the land is abandoned and the cultivators move to the new plot. Okay. Shifting cultivation is also known as slash and burn agriculture. So now this actually is important from exam perspective. So in India, we call it zoom or zooming cultivation. In Mexico, we call milpa. In Brazil, we call roca. And in Malaysia, we call ladang. So we have 4 words which we should remember. Okay. Zooming, mipla, and roca and ladang. So in the match the pair, they ask this type of question. Nomadic herding is practiced in semi-arid and arid regions of Sahara, Central Asia, and some of the parts of India like Rajasthan, Jammu, Kashmir, etc. So nomadic is what? You have animals with you and you move, right? Basically, movement is important here. When you move from places to places with the animals for fodder and water along the defined routes, it is called as the nomadic herding. Sheep, camel, yak, and goats are important animals. Okay. In commercial farming, the crops are grown and animals are what? Reared for sale in the market. This is important. And amount of capital used is also large, right? The most of the work is done by machines. Remember that. And it includes mixed farming, plantation, agriculture, commercial grain farming, etc. So the question will be basically of 2 types. One sentence, 2 sentence. One sentence will be the amount of capital which is used and the machinery which is used. Okay. Then commercial grain farming. Crops are grown for commercial purpose. Wheat, maize are. In intensive, the rice was main. Okay. And here in commercial, wheat and maize are commonly and commercially grown crops. These are sparsely populated with the large farms, okay, with hundreds of acres, and 2.5 hectare, 2.5 acre is equal to 1 hectare. Remember that. In mixed farming, the land is used for growing food, fodder, crops, and rearing livestock. In plantation, actually, you have tea, then coffee, sugar cane, cashew, rubber, banana, cotton, etc. So these are plantation crops. Remember that. This is a type of actually commercial farming, right? तो इसके अंदर क्या क्या लेते हैं हम लोग? टी, कॉफी, शुगर केन, कैश्यू, रबर, बनाना, कॉटन, ये सब हम ग्रो करते हैं किसके अंदर? प्लांटेशन क्रॉप्स के अंदर, याद रखिएगा। The produce may be processed on the farm itself or in nearby factories. The development of the transport network is thus essential for such farming. ये क्वेश्चन आता है कि प्लांटेशन फार्मिंग का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या है? तो प्लांटेशन फार्मिंग का कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या है कि यहाँ पे आपको ट्रांसपोर्ट नेटवर्क जो है अच्छा चाहिए। अब आते हैं बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक के पास, जो है मेजर क्रॉप्स। हर साल एनडीए में क्वेश्चन आते हैं इसके ऊपर, राइट? एनडीए हैज कपल ऑफ टाइम्स आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस। इस साल भी कॉटन के ऊपर क्वेश्चन आया था। अभी देखते हैं हम लोग कि मेजर क्रॉप्स के ऊपर क्या क्वेश्चन आ सकता है। राइस इज द मेजर फूड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। इट इज द डाइट, स्टेपल डाइट। लेकिन क्वेश्चन क्या आ सकता है? एक क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि राइस नीड्स हाई टेम्परेचर एंड ह्यूमिडिटी, right? High temperature, high humidity, and high rainfall is required. But high temperature, high humidity, and high rainfall. So everything high is there. So rice require high temperature, high humidity, and high rainfall. It grows best in the alluvial clay soil. So this can be the question which can be asked. Okay. And China leads, right? China leads. Remember that. China leads in the production, right? Then India, then Japan. So it is China, India, Japan, right? So these three are important for us only, which requires moderate temperature and rainfall during the growing season and bright sunshine at the time of harvest. So it is important. What? That it requires bright sunshine at the time of harvest and moderate temperature and rainfall during the growing season. And it is also grown in the loamy soil. So for rice, it was what? It was the clay soil, the soil which can retain the water. But here for wheat, we require the loamy soil, right? So millets, they are known as the coarse grain and can be grown in the less fertile. Important is that. This is the trap. So in the millets, they are known as the coarse grain and can be grown in the less fertile geography. India. And the sandy soil. So if NDA asks the question, what kind of soil is required for millets? The soil need not to be fertile. Even in the less fertile region, you can have the millets, right? So we can see that, you know, you have jawar, bajra, and ragi. So these three, jawar, bajra, and ragi, are important, right? Next crop which is important for us is the maize. Maize requires moderate temperature, rainfall, and lot of sunshine. It needs well-drained fertile soil. Okay, it requires the well-drained, so the water need not be retained. So it should go down, right? So even the roots, if you look at the roots of the maize, they are fibrous. Some of times, when you study about the xerophytic plants, the roots are tapery. So it goes down in the search of water because in the arid region, you don't have much water. But with respect to the maize, the roots are fibrous. And because the soil is well drained and you have a lot of water there, so maize is grown in the America, Brazil, China, etc. Next is cotton. The cotton requires high temperature, high rainfall, and important trap is that you need what? 210 frost-free days and bright sunshine for its growth. So this is important. So they can ask that which crop require the 210 days for the frost-free days for growing and bright sunshine? So it is the cotton. It grows best in the black and alluvial soil that is called as the Regur soil. In Maharashtra, for example, Maharashtra leads in it. So this is called as Regur, or in Maharashtra, we called it as a Kali Mruda, right? So this is the black and alluvial soil. Now, next is jute. Jute is also known as the golden fiber. Remember that. Jute is also known as the golden fiber. It grows best in the alluvial soil and requires high temperature, heavy rainfall. Yes, jute also require heavy rainfall and high temperature. This can be grown in the tropical areas and not in the temperate areas. So remember this. This can best be grown in the tropical areas. Next is coffee. What is coffee? Coffee requires what requires the warm and wet climate and well-drained loamy soil. So you require wet and well-drained loamy soil. Hill slopes are more suitable for growth of this crop. So you need to grow it in the slopy area. So areas with the slope, you can grow coffee. So mostly you might have seen whenever we talk about the areas where coffee can be best grown, we always talk about what? We talk about the hills, right? So Brazilian coffee is also very famous, followed by the Colombian and Indian. In India, we have it in the Karnataka region. So tea. So the hills are also called as the Baudan Hills of Karnataka, which are famous. Tea is a beverage crop grown in the plantation. So this requires cool climate. Okay, it requires the cool climate and well distributed high rainfall throughout the year. So the difference between tea and other is that tea requires the cool climate. Then agricultural development refers to efforts made to increase the farm production in order to meet the growing demands, right? So Food Security Act 2013, you need to study about it. Okay. Farm in India. There is a small village. So we are not necessarily be talking about the stories because stories will not be asked in NDA's exam. What is important for us, we'll be discussing that only. Now, let us try to solve the questions. Horticulture. What is the meaning of horticulture? Horticulture, right? Means growing of fruits and vegetables, right? Growing of wheat is not there. Primitive farming is not there. Golden fiber refers to jute. Leading producer of coffee is what? Brazil, followed by Colombia and India. So let us move ahead. Industries. So industry refers to an economic activity that is concerned with the production of goods and extraction of minerals. So we'll be studying we will be studying the types of industries, okay, which are important for us. So now look, this incidence is important. Methyl isocyanate, MIC, remember this name. They can ask which this is the industrial disaster, okay, one of the most the worst industrial disasters of all time occurred in Bhopal on 3rd of December 1984. Today is also 4th of this, so we can talk about this because the questions have already been asked. It was a technological accident in which highly poisonous methyl isocyanate (MIC) gas along with the hydrogen cyanide and other reaction products leaked out of the pesticide factory of Union Carbide. So the official date was 3,500. Thousands who survived still suffer from one or major ailments like blindness, etc. So the name of the gas is that methyl isocyanate. Methyl isocyanate. Remember the name. Methyl isocyanate. And cyanides are very, very poisonous. Okay, remember that. Whenever you heard about these poisonous cyanide, they are extremely, extremely poisonous. They are mostly gases. So remember, these emerging industries are known as sunrise industries. These include information technology, wellness, hospitality, knowledge, etc. So NDA may ask, what is the meaning of sunrise industries? So you must understand that sunrise industries are the industries which are emerging. Okay, emerging industries are called as sunrise industries. For example, IT, wellness, hospitality, knowledge, right? So these are called as sunrise industries. So in upcoming exams, they might ask you about what is the meaning of sunrise industry, right? What is next? This smelting. It is a process in which metals are extracted from the ores. Okay, metals are extracted from the ores by heating beyond the melting point. So if you are, for example, this rock and you have minerals in it, right? These minerals in it. So what you do, you hit the rock so that this particular ore will get melted, and then you collect the liquid, and you will get the metal, required metal. This is called as smelting. Which smelting is the process in which metals are extracted from the ore by hitting beyond the melting point. Remember this. So this year also they had asked, in 2023 they had asked two questions on steel. Okay, steel industry. You can see this. Steel is a uh, actually alloy where aluminum, nickel, copper, if you mix with the steel, you get different alloys. Okay, steel is often called as the backbone of modern industry. Remember this. Steel is the backbone of modern industry. Now, look, these are the areas where iron is produced in Japan, India, Germany. Look, this area, then this area, South Africa, Australia, Russia. So in this area, you have what? Iron. So remember this name, Tisco. Tata Iron Steel Company Limited, Tisco. Okay, was started in 1907 in the Sakchi, which is the confluence of the river Superneka and Karkai in Jharkhand. Jamshedpur is called as Sakchi. Earlier, Jamshedpur was called as Sakchi. Remember this. So Tisco, sorry, Tisco in 1907 in the Sakchi. Right? So question can be asked on this topic, right? Now we'll study about the some interesting facts that the first textile mill in the country was established at the Fort Gloucester near the Kolkata in 1888. So 1818 is the year where we have the first factory. So Ahmedabad is often referred as the Manchester of India. If you are watching the football matches, you have a couple of clubs in Manchester, Manchester United, Manchester City. These are famous clubs in the football matches. So you know what is Manchester and where is Manchester? It's in England. So it was famous for the textile industry at the time. It's also famous now. So in India, Ahmedabad is referred as the Manchester of India. Remember the name. Which the question can be, which city is called as the Manchester of India? Manchester of India is what? Ahmedabad. And Osaka is called as the Manchester of Japan. Manchester of Japan, Osaka. Is it clear? Bangalore is located on the Deccan Plateau, from where it gets its name Silicon Plateau. Silicon Plateau. Remember that. Bangalore is called as the Silicon Plateau because Silicon Valley is in America, so which is very famous for the IT industry. A lot of companies, IT companies have like Google and Microsoft. They have their headquarters in the Silicon Valley, which is in the America. So people, when we have a lot of companies like Bell, ISRO, ITI, ICS, and different other conglomeration of companies which is there in Bangalore. So that's why it is referred as the IT hub of India. Along with the Hyderabad, Pune, uh, uh, this Gurgaon, right, and Bangalore. They are actually the IT hubs, the lungs of service sector in India. So basically, Bangalore is referred as the Silicon Valley of India or Silicon Plateau, right? So we will move ahead. So we will talking about the human resources. The government of India has a Ministry of Human Resources Development. The ministry was created in 1985 and with the aim to improve people's skill. So you have Ministry of HRM, Ministry of Human Resource Management. Look, okay, or HRD we will call it, Ministry of Human Resource Development. Now this is in 1985. Now the name has already been changed. Now it is simply called as Ministry of Education. Okay, Ministry of HRD, that is Human Resource Development, is called as Ministry of Education now. The government had changed the name, but in 1985 it was then onwards it was called as HRD, Human Resource Development Ministry. Pradhan Mantri Kushal Vikas Yojana. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Kushal Vikas Yojana was started in 2015 to train 1 crore Indian. Okay, 1 crore Indian from 2016 to 2020. The objective of the scheme is to encourage aptitude towards employable skills. Okay, so that was Pradhan Mantri Kushal Vikas Yojana. Now distribution of population. Now we will be studying about this. Look, this is the population. Now we have almost touched this line. Okay, and we have surpassed China also. So it's China, India, USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nigeria. Okay, remember this. This diagram is important. If you look at this diagram, you can see these two countries are way ahead than others. This is the normal graph, and if you look at this, you are almost double from the rest of the world. Average density of the population in India is 382 persons per square kilometer. Right? How we calculate the population density? So population density is like this. If I write population density is equal to population divided by area in square kilometer. Right? This is you get average density of the population in the whole world is what? 51 square kilometer. And we are almost 8 times than the world. So what are the factors which impact the population? One is topography. People try to live on the plain areas, right? Then mountains and plateaus, due to transportation and a lot of things. You prefer to live in the what? आप खुद भी देखो ना, जब आप हिली एरियाज पे रहते हैं तो टू व्हीलर को चलाना, फोर व्हीलर को चलाना काफी मुश्किल होता है. इफ यू आर लिविंग ऑन द हिली एरियाज, प्लेटू कोई रीजन पे रहते हो, सो इमेजिन करो आपकी सोसाइटी टॉप ऑफ द हिल है. आपको उस बिल्डिंग में तो अच्छा लगेगा, लेकिन जो जिस लेवल की ट्रैफिक, जिस लेवल का प्रॉब्लम लैंडस्लाइड के भी होते हैं, सो लॉट ऑफ इश्यूज देयर. सो उससे अच्छा होता है प्लेन एरियाज पे रहना. ये हिस्टोरिक है कि पहले से ही लोग प्लेन एरियाज में, आइदर रिवर प्लेन्स एरियाज में रहना पसंद करते हैं. देन क्लाइमेट, आपको क्लाइमेट कैसा चाहिए? आपको एक्सट्रीम क्लाइमेट नहीं चाहिए. यू रिक्वायर मॉडरेट क्लाइमेट, है ना. इसीलिए लोग बैंगलोर, पूना ऐसे सिटीज पसंद करते हैं कंपेयर टू अदर्स. लाइक इन दिल्ली यू हैव लॉट ऑफ टेम्परेचर ड्यूरिंग द समर सीजन एंड लॉट ऑफ कूल और कोल्ड ड्यूरिंग द विंटर सीजन, है ना. कभी कभी 8 डिग्री सेल्सियस तक टेम्परेचर जाता है और 42-43 टच करता है समर में. तो फर्टाइल सॉइल प्रोवाइड्स सुटेबल लैंड फॉर एग्रीकल्चर. तो ऑब्वियसली वहां पे एग्रीकल्चर रहेगा तो लोग भी ज्यादा रहेंगे. वाटर, पीपल prefer to live in the areas where the fresh water is easily available. Right? Areas with the mineral deposits are more populated. Diamond mines of South Africa and discovery of oil in the Middle East led to the settling of people in this area. वरना वहां पे रहने का कोई मतलब नहीं बनता. लोगों के एक्टिविटीज पूरे चेंज हुए जब से वो ऑयल रिवोल्यूशन है. ऑयल रिवोल्यूशन, ऑयल आने के बाद पूरी इकोनॉमी मिडिल ईस्ट की चेंज हो गई. सो आपको पता होना चाहिए सब चीजें. ये भी इम्पोर्टेंट एक वर्ड है, life expectancy. It is the number of years that an average person can expect to live. हम देखते हैं आजकल एवरेज एक्सपेक्टेंसी है कुछ 60 साल. हम पकड़ के चलते हैं कि इंसान एवरेज 60 इयर्स जीता है. अगर उसको कोई बीमारी नहीं है और हेल्दी लाइफ जीता है तो 60-65 जीता है नॉर्मली. अब ये चेंज होता है. ये पुअर कंट्रीज में एक्सपेक्टेंसी कम रहती है, लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी, और जो हाईली डेवलप कंट्रीज रहते हैं वहां पे एक्सपेक्टेंसी ज्यादा रहती है। जापान में तो 80-85 तक जाती है, राइट। आपको अब पता होना चाहिए बर्थ रेट किसको बोलते हैं। बर्थ रेट दैट इज नंबर ऑफ लाइव बर्थ पर 1000 पर्सन। 1000 मर्द, 1000 लोगों के पीछे कितने बच्चे पैदा होते हैं एक साल के अंदर, उसको हम बोलते हैं birth rate. Deaths are measured using the death rate, that is number of deaths per 1000 person. Migration तो आपको पता है, it is a movement of people in and out of area. Migration is what? It is an what? Movement of people in and out of an area. The difference between birth rate and the death rate of the country is called as natural growth rate. Right? ये एक बड़ा confusion word है. So it is immigration and it is immigration. So here is I. I means in Hindi we call I. I means to come, right? When you call I means to come, to enter. When a person enters new country, और जब जाते हैं तो उसके अपोजिट गए, that is immigration. Okay? देखो ऐसे सोचो कि एक एम था, अब एडिशन का एक एम हो गया, तो दो एम हो गए, मतलब कोई तो आया है यहाँ पर. So when a person enters or comes in a new country, it is called as immigration. And when it goes, देखो यहाँ पे एक एम कम हो गया, मतलब एक चले गया बंदा, इसका मतलब होता है ये सट्टा है, याद रखने के लिए क्योंकि कंफ्यूजन ना हो. when you leave, you called as immigration. One is immigration and another is immigration. I am not expert in phonetics. I do not have good command over the phonetics of English language. Still, I'm trying to make sure that you understand the word, so that you could solve, yeah, the problems if it comes. उसी को इन इमिग्रेशन और आउट इमिग्रेशन या इन माइग्रेशन या आउट माइग्रेशन बोलते हैं. अगर मुझे यहाँ लिखना पड़ा तो मैं लिखूंगा आउट माइग्रेशन और यहाँ पर इन माइग्रेशन. ये देखो, annual rate of natural increase. This map is important. If you look at the map, you can see areas with high natural increase. These areas of Africa, right? Very high, 3 or more %. Followed by then, so you can see that only in Africa you will see continuous rise of the population because of underdevelopment. How crowded a city is has little to do with the level of economic development. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एंड लाइन है कि आपकी पॉपुलेशन कितनी है इसके ऊपर आपका डेवलपमेंट डिपेंड नहीं करता. फॉर एग्जांपल बोथ जापान एंड बांग्लादेश आर वेरी densely populated, but Japan is far more economically developed than Bangladesh. To understand the role of people as a resource, we need to know more about their qualities. People vary greatly. People vary greatly in their age, sex, literacy level, and health condition, occupation, etc. It is essential to understand the characteristics of the people. The population composition refers to the structure of the population. ये लाइन इंपॉर्टेंट है. पॉपुलेशन कॉम्पोजिशन रेफर्स टू द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन. अब ये रीड करना सीखो इसको. ये मैप बनते कैसे, अंडरस्टैंड. इधर राइट, on this side you have female, on this side you have male, right? नाउ अब देखो ये 0 to 4 है बर्थ रेट, धीरे 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 ये टैपरिंग डाउन, टैपरिंग, ऐसे क्या हो रहा है, is tapering upward. So we have less burden of the what population which is not working. This is the population which is dependent. This is also dependent population. This is working population. Okay, working population. Then so we have already covered most of the things. So tomorrow we will be discussing. Before that, I will talk about this population of Kenya, India, and Japan. ये तीन चीजें पढ़ेंगे और खत्म करेंगे, पूरे चैप्टर ही खत्म हो गया है और पूरी बुक खत्म हो गई। कल से स्टैंडर्ड 9th की एनसीईआरटी विल कंटिन्यू। सो द शेप ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन पिरामिड, इस चीज को पॉपुलेशन पिरामिड बोलते हैं। द नंबर ऑफ चिल्ड्रन आर शोन एट द बॉटम, यस, द साइज ऑफ द टॉप शोज द नंबर ऑफ एज पीपल, राइट। पॉपुलेशन पिरामिड आल्सो टेल्स हाउ मेनी डिपेंडेंट्स आर देयर, ये डिपेंडेंट पॉपुलेशन है, बिलो 14 एंड बिलो 15 एंड अबव 65। सो ये जो होता है डिपेंडेंट होता है, और इसके बीच में 15 to 65 इज अ वर्किंग पॉपुलेशन। The countries where the traits are especially very amongst very young are decreasing. The pyramid is broader in the younger generation because more infants survive. मतलब यहाँ पर मेडिकल क्वालिटीज अच्छे रहने की वजह से ऐसा होता है, राइट। In countries like Japan, low birth rate makes the pyramid narrow at the base. Decreased death rates allow the number of people to reach old age. मतलब लोग यहाँ देखो, यहाँ पर पैदा तो ज्यादा हो रहे थे लेकिन ज्यादा दिन जिंदा नहीं रह रहे थे, और इसीलिए टॉप पे आपको कम लोग दिखेंगे। यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, अब लोग थोड़ा सा पैदा हो रहे और बच भी जा रहे, तो यहाँ पर आपको बेस थोड़ा ब्रेस मतलब मिडिल पार्ट थोड़ा ब्रॉड दिख रहा है। लेकिन जापान में ये मिडिल पास अच्छा खासा ब्रॉड दिख रहा है, और पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ डिक्रीज क्यों हो रही है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे बर्थ रेट कम हो गया। जब बर्थ रेट कम होगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली बेस जो है कम हो जाएगा, और फिर ये पॉपुलेशन ऊपर तक चले जाएंगे। So this was for the today. So tomorrow we will continue with the uh, chapter first of class 9 NCRT. So I will suggest you to come reading the NCRT class 9. Yes.